Hello everyone, my name is Abby Bliss White and welcome to my channel. Today I am so excited because it is Fragrance Friday, and what we're going to do today is have a little perfume party. I have several samples of new releases and I thought it would be fun for us to kind of go through them together. So these really are going to be first impressions, and I have the Discovery set from House of Beau. Super excited to smell these. I have the new Maison Francis Kurkdjian. This is 724. I've been so excited for this launch. I'm a huge Maison Francis Kurkdjian fan, so excited to try that one. I also love Ormonde Jayne, and I have her new Gatsby 22 to sample, as well as two of the new Guerlan Ouds. So they have just launched 3 new fragrances for the holidays. It is Oud Nude, Oud Cherry, and Oud Coal. And so far I just have the 2 samples of Oud Nude and Oud Cherry, and then I do have one perfume that is a classic that I have to share with you. So I thought today what we would do is just do a little fun sampling of all these new releases. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about these new releases and my thoughts on them, then let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first I want to say thank you to Twisted Lily for sending me some of these amazing samples. I've been intrigued by all these launches, so excited to receive those. And one thing that I love, if you have ever ordered samples from Twisted Lily, is that they send along a little sheet of perfume strips, and on it will say put your fragrance name over here, and then it will say love, still thinking, not for me. And I love that because often you do really get a first impression, and there's obviously perfumes that sort of grow on you, and then there's others where you're like, oh my gosh, I love this perfume. And then of course there's going to be those perfumes where you may appreciate the perfume, but it is not for you. So I really love these little perfume strips, and we're going to be using those today. Okay, we're first going to start with the House of Beau, and I have their Discovery Travel Set, and I have been so excited to try this brand. And he describes fragrances as the ultimate expression of essence. They are a most personal and intimate invitation into someone's soul. It is the purity of this invitation that I wish to transmit with each scent. So the cool thing is that he has launched 3 fragrances along with a fragrance primer that like immediately sold out. So very intrigued by that, because it is supposed to sort of nourish the skin and bond the fragrance to the skin. So I don't have that to share with you today, but it is described as a way to sort of nourish and prime the skin for the fragrance. So we'll see. We'll have to check that out at some point as well. So I thought we would start with Agua de Santos, and I'm going to go ahead, spray this on my little strip here. Definitely smelling some orange blossom. I think I'm smelling neroli as well. So this is actually taking me down to Miami, which I just love. And this is described as heaven in a bottle. Immerse yourself in heavenly water and experience a citrus floral harmony of invigorating notes. So I was recently in Miami a few months back and just had the best time because I had not been there in years. And part of why I loved it so much is because the water was actually warm. I live in the Pacific Northwest, and the Pacific Ocean is always quite chilly, and so it was fun to actually stick my feet in the water and just really take in the ocean. So that is what I'm feeling like. I am on the beach of Miami. And then let me read you the notes. It has in the top notes Lima Mexicana, sweet kumquat, that is a little twister there, lavender. Then in the heart I have neroli oil, orange blossom, and thyme. Definitely smelled both the orange blossom as well as the neroli when I first sprayed this out. Then it's got vetiver, cedarwood, angelica, musk. This is described as a sophisticated, sweet citrus scent with what light, woody notes that is going to instantly uplift you. And I would definitely say that is a very accurate description. And for all my friends that live like in warm climates, I have a good friend who lives in Florida, and we're always laughing because I live in a more temperate, cool area, and some of the perfumes that I love that are really deep, rich, and kind of warm are too cloying for her. And so she's like, I need some of those Florida scents. And this one is going to be right up your alley. It is really quite gorgeous, very much screams Florida, Miami, and I actually love the aesthetics and the bottles of these brands too. There's something very sophisticated about them, almost a little bit natural and earthy to them. So this one really is delightful. I do feel like it is a very summer or spring fragrance. Like I feel like this is going to be so uplifting. You can clearly wear this year round, but it is giving me some summer vibes. So I am going to say love on this one. It says love, still thinking, not for me. This is something I would definitely wear. I really like it upon first impression. So we're going to put that over here. And then we will move on to the next one. The next one we're going to do is Espiritu. I just smelled it from the bottle and I was like, uh-oh, this might be more me. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and spray this out. This one is going to be a bit warmer, a bit more woody, and a bit richer, I would say. And this is described as a ceremonial experience that awakens a timeless soul. So this one is definitely a bit more woody. It has a lot more depth to it. And the top notes in here are sage, osmanthus, and carrot seed. And osmanthus always, to me, smells a little bit apricot-y, kind of like a chewy, dried apricot. That's what I get when I smell that. And then in the heart, it has tobacco leaves, upcycled rose, and iris. And I'm definitely smelling a little bit of sweet tobacco. This isn't super heavy on the tobacco, very light with the florals. I do smell the iris in here. And then in the base, it's got Mexican oak wood, leather, and labdanum. So yes, definitely you got a lot more body and richness. And this one to me smells a bit more sensual, a bit more passionate. So the first one, which I did really like, is going to be like your freshy, light, everyday kind of fragrance. This one smells a bit more special. It definitely has some more depth, and I really like this one. Like this one, between the two so far, I would say for this time of year too, as we're kind of transitioning into fall, I would definitely go with full bottle of this one. I'm going to put this one down as a love plus. I'm afraid to smell the last one. So far, I'm like really liking both offerings. So we'll move on, but so far this one feels just a bit more special to me. And then we have Lamar. And then we're going to smell Lamar. This is making me laugh. Definitely taking me someplace that is warm and sunny right now. I will say that about all of them so far. Okay. This one I'm definitely smelling the jasmine. This says, imagine the smell of your skin after emerging from the sea with an exquisite and luxurious floral perfume. I'm definitely smelling the florals in here, you guys. I smell tuberose, I smell jasmine. Let's see, it's got gardenia in here. Okay, let me read the notes to you. Arabian jasmine, pink pepper, seawater, and I definitely do smell a little bit of saltiness in here. This one has Gardenia mexicana, Indian tuberose, Shimoga ginger, and then in the base it's got this creamy coconut, almond milk, and Sembrani tears, which I don't know. I probably need to look that up. Okay, this one is really stunning as well. This one is going to be for my white floral lovers, but who like a little bit of saltiness in their fragrances, or a little bite, I would say, to kind of temper out the florals, which I appreciate because I have been way into florals lately, but for a while, I would say almost a year, I really couldn't wear a lot of kind of heady florals because it kind of made my stomach sick. It's kind of funny how fragrance can kind of turn on you. And then recently I've had like a resurgence back into the florals, and I just can't get enough of them. I just find them so elegant and so pretty. And this one definitely has a bit of a tropical note in here. I'm definitely smelling that coconut. I'm definitely smelling these beautiful kind of luscious white florals, and they set the stage perfectly because in my mind when I'm smelling it, this is like somebody down in Miami who is like bronzed up. She goes to the beach daily, she's swimming in the ocean, and she's coming out, and you can smell that ocean saltiness, but you're also surrounded by like tropical, lovely, lush florals. Okay, so this is kind of fun, you guys. I actually like all three offerings from this brand, and I would wear all three at different times. So as I'm going back through and smelling these, the Agua de Santos is going to be a really easy, freshy, kind of get out of the shower and you want to smell really kind of uplifted and invigorated. That's the one I would pick for that. And then for something a little bit deeper, richer, a bit more mysterious, I would recommend the Espiritu. This one is woody, it's a bit more mysterious, a bit more sexy. So if I was to buy a full bottle today, the one I would pick is this one. I do have to say, really loving Lamar. So if you are somebody who loves white florals, you love that wood and sea salt from Jo Malone, like you like a little bite of saltiness, ocean kind of feeling, I think I would tell you definitely get Lamar. So the good news is I actually love all three offerings from this brand, and I could see myself wearing these at different times, and I'm so excited that I have the travel set, and that if I was going to buy a full bottle, I would pick out Espiritu. It's just a little bit warmer, a little bit more sexy, and that's what I'm in the mood for today. Okay, moving on to Maison Francis Kurkdjian. This is 724, and I've been so excited about this launch, and I've already had a few of you write me and say, did you pick it up yet, that you love it? So then I was like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble, because I like a lot of his fragrances. I don't want to spray myself in the eyeball. So let's go ahead, squirt this out. Okay, this is definitely a fresh scent. It has this really beautiful, clean note to it. And it has a little bit of sparkliness. I believe it's got aldehydes in it. So we'll read the notes in just a second. But whenever I smell a little bit of this like champagne bubbles, I always think, ooh, it's got to have some aldehydes in here. So I'm definitely getting that champagne touch from this fragrance. Smells really comforting as well. I feel like this is going to be a really popular scent because it is not offensive or anything like that. This one really is good, you guys. There's an airiness to it that I'm loving. I definitely am smelling some florals in here as well. So it says, a pace, a thrill, the city pulsation, 724 BPM, life in New York. And I'm so bummed because I was just with my son and I think he would absolutely love this one as well. And he actually lives in New York. So it says, life in New York, the beat of a city that never sleeps, the rhythm of its laundries working at night. From New York to Tokyo, from Paris to Shanghai, everyone can dissolve into the beat of the city lights, embrace its emotions, absorb its cultural vibrations, feed upon its energy, and feel the thrill of the city pulsation at 724 BPM. So I can definitely feel a little bit of the energy in this fragrance. And one thing that I always know when I go and visit my son in New York and we're walking a million miles and we're taking the subway and stuff, I do sort of feel like this film of New York on me, if that makes sense. I get the same feeling like when I go to New Orleans. It's a bit more humid and I always feel like I get like a French Quarter film on me, and I always want to put on a fragrance that's gonna kind of cut through that and make me feel a bit fresh and clean. And he always likes to wear Chanel Bleu, which I love because it's a woody, fresh, invigorating, clean kind of fragrance. And I wouldn't say this smells like that, but it has that same energy. It reminds me of him. He likes to bike around the city. He's always on the go, and he will always take a break and actually spray on a little bit more cologne to get that fresh, invigorating feel. So I am getting that exact kind of vibe. And I'm also getting a bit of a soapy note in here, like ivory soap. And I say this in a very positive way. Like, I love those kind of soapy notes and fragrances. Whereas you have just come out of the shower, you are fresh and clean. You have a fluffy white towel that you've wrapped around yourself. That is also the vibe I'm getting from this. And it's just very airy and very likable. Sometimes with the freshies, I don't always love them because they lean a little bit towards cleaning products, which of course I love when I walk into a home and it's just been cleaned and it smells like cleaning products, but I don't necessarily want to smell like Pledge or any of those other kind of cleaners. And I would say this one is a fresh out of the shower. This one is not a freshie that is like super lemony or anything like that. So let me read you the notes. It says it has mandarin in here, bergamot. I definitely smell that fresh bergamot. I love that. Jasmine, ambery, woody accord. So the citrus in here is bergamot and mandarin. Definitely get a light little touch of that. Then it has white flowers that include jasmine, saranget, sweet pea. I definitely think I smell that sweet pea and musks. And again, that's where I'm kind of getting that kind of wrap around this like super soft, like white towel out of the shower feel. And then there is a little bit of warmth in here, and I'm imagining that's from this woody ambery accord, which I like. So I think that's what's balancing this fragrance. I really like this, and I could see my husband loving this. I could see my son loving this. Yay! Okay, good. I was really excited about this launch. I liked the way that it was described to me, and I had a feeling I would like it, especially since a few of you already wrote me and said, oh my gosh, I smelled it and had to buy it on the spot. I was like, oh my gosh, I have got to get my hands on this really quickly. So to me, this is definitely full bottle worthy. I feel like this is going to be your perfect everyday scent. You want to smell fresh, you want to smell clean, you want to smell kind of comforted. You also want to feel a little bit invigorated. $7.24. I think that's going to be the one. And before I forget, you guys, for any fragrances that I have a code that you can pick up at Twisted Lily, I will list below in the description box. My code is Abby10, and I will have those listed below on the fragrances that those apply to. So just wanted to let you know that is one that I do. House of Beau as well, but I would definitely say that is a yes. Okay, the next sample we have is Ormonde Jayne. This is Gatsby 22. Big fan of Ormonde Jayne. I love the DNA in her fragrances. There's a little bit of greenness in her fragrances that I just love. I love Ormonde Jayne Woman. I love Royal Elixir. I love Chi. So many that I love. So let me go ahead and spray this one. I was excited about this because it said it was going to be a bit more edgy, and I wanted to see what Ormonde Jayne does with edginess. Okay. So when I first sprayed this out, there was like a citrus blast, but now I am getting a little bit of spice in here. I'm definitely smelling a little bit of richness in the base as well. Like I think there must be tonka in here. Tonka bean always smells like a little bit resinous to me. I'm definitely smelling that. So I like to, for fun, not read the notes right off the bat. I just like to experience the perfume because lots of perfumes can have the same notes, but they can smell completely different. So I'd kind of like to take in the scent itself and see if I can pick out any favorite notes. So upon first sniff, I'm definitely liking this one. It really started out with sort of a blast of citrus, and then I am smelling a floral in here. There's something a little bit chewy in here, and then I think there's tonka. So let me read the notes here. Okay. Yeah, so in the head, we've got bergamot, Sicilian lemon, and pink pepper. I definitely smelt a little lemon blast at the very beginning. And then in the heart, we've got osmanthus, violet, and orange blossom. It's funny because osmanthus always kind of reminds me of this little bit of this chewy apricot. So I did smell a little bit of chewiness when I first smelled this. So definitely smell that. The orange blossom, violet, I can see that. And then in the soul, it's got vetiver, leather accord, tonka bean, and musk. This one smells very like sophisticated. This one does have a little bit of an edgy note to it that I'm really liking. A little bit different than some of her other fragrances. So this says, what fun I had creating a perfume to personify a stylish and sophisticated era. Nostalgic for a time of jazz, pearls, well-tailored dinner jackets, cigars, and Rolls-Royce cars. This is really good, you guys. So this one is definitely going to be on the more elegant, sophisticated side of things out of everything we have smelled so far. And somebody had asked about an elegant perfume, like what you would recommend as far as that. And everybody will have a different interpretation of what elegant means to them. But this one feels elegant and stylish. It feels very classy, and it's got a little bit of a retro feel to this as well. Maybe it's just the description kind of playing in my head, but you can kind of see a little bit of this opulence out there, like back in the old day, flapper dresses and stylish little dinner jackets and such. So I can totally imagine that. And for myself, I would wear this absolutely during the day, but I will say this would be one where I want to feel put together. Maybe I have to do a presentation or something like that, and I want a little bit of confidence. This is the kind of fragrance that I'm going to put on because it's going to make me feel a bit more elevated, not necessarily on my casual days. So that's how I would describe it, but I wouldn't save it for like a date night per se. You could definitely wear it at at a date night, but you don't have to, if that makes sense. It's not one of these kind of rich, opulent ones where it's only really gonna kind of pair well in that setting. I kind of feel like you can wear fragrance whenever you're feeling like it. So if you're feeling like you want to wear your jeans and t-shirt, but you are in the ball gown mood, definitely spray on a little bit of this and you will feel that elevated kind of chic sophistication in a perfume. I just really love Ormonde Jayne. There's so many that I really enjoy wearing, and they just really become you. They are not going to be perfumes that wear you. Like, those are fun to wear as well, but these ones seem to have a coziness about them that I just feel like mesh really well with my particular chemistry. Let me know if you guys have a similar feel with those perfumes, but really enjoying that. Ooh, we're definitely having some winners in this little perfume party. So far, really enjoying all of those.